Continuing from the last video, I began to research about these frequencies and vibrations: keys, tones, frequencies, vibrations, bells, or rings. Let's look at the definition of a key. In music, a system of 7 notes based on the relationship to the first and lowest note. A characteristic style or tone. To bring into harmony or conformity. And that brought me to something called cymatics. You put a frequency or a tone or music onto water and it makes these geometrical shapes. They colored them so you can see it better. This is apparently 12 Hertz, and that's what it looks like with a frequency on water. I find this very interesting. The picture on the right is a Sri yantra, if you've ever heard of yantras. They make them colorful and they are quite pretty, and they remind me of several things. Here's some that I was looking at them and thinking that those look like Catholic church windows to me. Look how similar that is. All these Catholic churches have flower-stained glass in the windows. They look exactly like cymatics. And I'm wondering if that had something to do with what churches were originally for. This is Maria, or Mary, in a Catholic church in Ohio. Do you see what's behind her? Stars. Or is it frequencies? So then that made me think of sacred geometry, which I think there's nothing sacred about it, to be honest. Every element has a geometric shape, or maybe that's what the element's molecules look like. Nobody understood what these symbols were, but I'm thinking these symbols are actually cymatics, they're frequencies. And that does connect to the flower of life. I think that's simply what it looks like when you put that frequency onto water. And we are mostly made up of water because it's water that brought me back to these ancient gods. Everything seems to connect back to these ancient Sumerian deities, and I think that is Enki up there and his ship and his priests that wear these fish costumes. I think this is Anu or something. He's got some sort of pine cone and he's wearing a bracelet. So then I compared the cymatics vibration to this bracelet that he's wearing. Look at it, this Apkallu is wearing it as well. He's got 2 of them, he's wearing 2 bracelets, and then I was thinking, is that why these celebrities wear 2 watches? And they've always got these basket or handbag things. I don't know, maybe it's a battery or some sorts of conductor. This is an old Persian relief of a goddess, and she's standing on a lion. Do you see what's behind her? Looks like a frequency to me. All of these ancient gods have stars around them. I know that people say Zachariah Sitchin was one of them, and I heard about that a few years ago. I'm not concerned about him. I'm only connecting what I found to this. And suddenly, this quote makes sense. If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have a key to the universe. What's a key? It's a note, it's music, it's a tone. This looks like the tree of life in the Kabbalah, to be honest. Maybe that's a secret that even the Masons don't know, that this is all about frequency or tone. It's some sort of device. They've got it here as well. Enki up there flying in his aeroplane. And what's next to them? It's a frequency. Or is it a star? I don't know. They're all standing around this device, and I thought maybe that this is plasma. I've researched plasma and I think these people are using it. And hey, maybe that is plasma as well. Maybe it's both. This is Nanurta and he's got these stars above his head. And that looks like the Templar cross. So maybe that's where they got their secrets from. But it's these stars, these gods, and they are gods because they're huge compared to these people. He's got stars above his head. Maybe it's cymatics, maybe it's frequency. Inanna is meant to be a representation of Venus the morning star. She has the 8-pointed star, so maybe that's her frequency. I think the Vesica Pisces is a frequency as well, but possibly a lower frequency. I found these Sumerian hieroglyphs, and do you see the top column? That looks like a star, and it's translated to God and heaven. And all of these Sumerian, Mesopotamian, Akkadian gods all have stars around them. So either that's what the star in the sky looks like, or that's the frequency of where they are. We've got Marduk. What's all around him? These stars, these frequencies. Another cylindrical here. He's got the moon above him. There's some other strange creatures, half human, half... I don't know what that is. But it looks like a stargate. And I spoke about that last year when I mentioned that CERN is a stargate. And they are using this technology. This is another relief of Marduk or Marduk. He's holding something in his hand, which I think might be a key. Do you see what's on his clothing? Cymatics, frequency. So now it all starts to make sense. What these things are, I'm not sure. I've read that they are representations of stars in the sky, and I've also read that these entities do exist and they live somewhere on another frequency. I'll tell you what I think. I think that these beings do exist somewhere in another dimension or frequency, and that's where they're going, because it doesn't make sense. Why would these celebrities be worshipping stars? That's a bit silly. But I think it truly is these beings. People know this. They had the awareness and the knowledge up until I think the 1900s, and then it was all taken away. So this rock art from all over the world that are apparently ancient, they do depict some beings that come from the stars. I think in the Native American stories, I don't remember which one, they say that these entities were from the sky, and they call them sky people, who were giants, and they came here, so they knew about this sort of thing. So now it makes sense to me that everything in this world is about frequencies and tones, but we're not being told this. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.